Hey folks, Mr. Allen here. I'm going to give you a quick little lesson on veins and valves. A couple things first. So if you've done your reading so far, you know that when blood leaves the heart, it goes into arteries. Think A for arteries, A for away from the heart. And from there, from the arteries, blood will enter arterioles, then capillaries, which is where the gas exchange and nutrient waste exchange occurs. From the capillaries, the blood will go into venules and then finally into veins. Another point I want to remember is the farther away from the heart the blood gets, the lower the blood pressure. Okay? Also, remember this little phrase here. With regards to blood pressure and blood flow, when pressure is low, flow is slow. One more time. When pressure is low, flow is slow. So when the blood moves all that distance and finally gets in the veins, it has traveled a long ways. Pressure is very, very low. So it's hard for the blood to keep flowing along. And for that reason, the blood, especially in the lower legs, it tends to pool, and it has a hard time getting back to the heart, especially if you're older and you have something called varicose veins. So veins have valves in them, and valves are basically one way, and they prevent the backflow of blood, which is going to prevent pooling. So I'm going to show you a little trick here, and I'm going to cut the supply of blood off to my arm. If you want to try this at home, you have to be careful. You can't leave your tourniquet on for too long, otherwise you can do some damage. I just have a karate belt here, so I'm going to get that real tight in just a second, but I can't leave it on too long, so let me explain a couple things first. So this being my arm, it's the veins that you see at the surface. The arteries are deeper in the tissue and you can't see those. Blood flows from in the veins back towards the heart, so in this direction. That's why I have the arrow there. I've already located the position of a valve, which I'm going to show to you in a few minutes. So this line is where I have a valve. Now, it's hard to see my veins, especially on the camera, but I'm going to tighten this up. Just give me a minute. I'm going to wrap that really tight around my arm. And by doing so, I'm going to prevent the blood from flowing back to my heart through those veins. And it's going to cause the veins to bulge out. This takes a little bit. I've kind of used my forearm muscles to kind of get things moving here. And I can't leave this on for too long because it's going to start to hurt. Let's see how we're doing here. Okay. There we go. All right. Let me position my finger so you can see everything okay. Hopefully you can see this vein moving right along here, right? And again, remember, blood is flowing in this direction. So if I put my finger on the vein like this, it prevents blood from flowing past my finger. Then what I do is I take my thumb and I'm going to push that blood through the vein past the valve. And what you can see right now is the vein collapses. Right? So watch what happens when I lift my finger. The vein fills up again. So again, I put my finger down here, and then I, with my thumb, scrape along here. That pushes the blood past that valve, and the valve prevents it from flowing backwards. So essentially, I'm emptying part of the vein. And I let my finger back up, and it refills again. Little party trick for you. Entertain yourselves during our self-isolation. Right? Block it, drain it, empty, refill. Right? So again, the valve is right there, preventing backflow of blood this way. Okay, so it's only veins that have valves because veins have very low pressure and it's hard for the blood to flow. Remember, when pressure is low, flow is slow. Arteries don't have that problem because the pressure is really quite high. All right, hope that was helpful. Have a great day.